There's been so many life-changing moments in my Connect groups. I remember the very first group I did was a couples group, and I did it with my wife. And I was a fairly new believer. I think I was 4 to 6 months in after giving my life to God. And it was the very first time that I was able to pray in front of a group of people, or to pray in front of anyone at that, out loud. That was also the very first time that I sang a praise and worship song in front of someone. Our very last group, when we met, I remember telling my wife a few days before that I wanted to sing a praise and worship song. And so we asked our leaders, and they said that that would be all right. We usually just set up a phone and we would play a praise and worship song or two. But I sang in front of everybody. And our leader at the time was the guitar player for New River, one of the guitar players. And he told me, he's like, man, you have a God-gifted talent and you need to share this. And that really inspired me to just let go and to sing praise and worship. Another one of the life-changing events that I experienced was during our men's group. I'm not sure how the topic came up, but there was a few guys in the group that really, we had trouble just fully surrendering to God during praise and worship, and not even being able to like raise our hands or get on our knees, just in fear that everyone around you is watching you or judging you. And that next Sunday during praise and worship, I just really felt called to raise my hands. So I did. I had my hands raised and I ended up on my knees. Pretty sure I cried that morning. And it was, the praise and worship was really, really good. The Spirit just came into the room and it was thick. And I remember afterwards, I sat up and opened my eyes and I looked next to me, and another gentleman that was in my group that was struggling with the same exact thing was on his knees next to me. And it was just a really sweet moment. We both kind of looked at each other and smiled, and it was a really sweet moment. Meeting outside of Sunday morning has been really important for my faith, because I've been guilty in the past of listening to a Sunday sermon and praying on that and thinking about that and examining how that applies in my everyday life. For maybe, on my way home that day from church, and maybe for a few days throughout the week. But by the end of the week, I'll realize that I haven't been talking to God that week. And to schedule a day throughout the week where we meet up and you meet with other men and just really are reminded about the goodness of God and how important it is to stay connected with Him. And consistency is everything, I feel like, when you're walking with God. If you're on the fence about joining a Connect group, just jump off the fence. Head first, do a gainer, just jump off the fence. I was on the fence as well. I remember telling my wife, the last thing I want to do is sit in front of a group of men and talk about my feelings and expose my past. No one wants to talk about that. But it's one of the most important things for spiritual growth is to do that. So I did. I joined a group. I was all in. For the first time in my life, I started talking about my past and a lot of things that no one ever knew. And it's helped me in so many ways. And I used to go to all my friends that were yes men, guys that would tell me what I wanted to hear. But now I come to a group of godly men and they're like, hey, Tuck, where do you need to grow throughout this situation? Maybe you should pray to God about this and allow Him to work through you to develop some good habits in your life. So if you're on the fence, join a Connect group.